Hit it.
Meet me at the intersection. It's time to make a great connection. Faith, fun, and family meet. So come on in and take a seat at Sundays at the intersection. Woo!
Welcome to Sundays at the Intersection. We're delighted to be spending this time with you. We're going to be learning about the prophets. Take a look and enjoy.
What's on the menu? Christy, I got something to tell you. Hey, clap on. Listen to me.
I am in front of you. I have an important message.
Earth to Christy. You know, this is stupid. Forget it.
Trying to get someone's attention and being ignored? That has everything to do with the prophet we're going to talk about today. Let's talk about Jeremiah. The main course. Jeremiah is a major prophet. Not because he was any more important than the other prophets.
No.
But again, because his book was long. Yeah, actually, the book of Jeremiah, word for word, is longer than any other book in the Bible. So he not only wrote Jeremiah, but he wrote Lamentations.
Yeah, he did.
And he served as a prophet under 5 kings. His message, though, was a little different from Isaiah's. So Lisa's going to talk to us a little bit about the message that Jeremiah brought to us and is in the Bible.
Yep, and we're going to let you know a little bit about Jeremiah because there are big differences in personality between him and Isaiah too. Remember Isaiah had this great prophecy about the Messiah coming and saving humanity?
Big one.
Yeah, Jeremiah's prophecy and message was not like that at all. And like you saw with What's on the Menu, he was wisely...
sing.
Yeah, I like to sing. Anyway, his message was widely ignored. His message was one thing. His message was, stop what you're doing or else you'll be destroyed. Listen to God or else it's all going to go bad for you. He was known as the prophet of doom. He just kept telling them, please repent, come close to God. Things are going to end badly. No one listened. He was totally
They didn't want to hear it.
They didn't. In fact, Jeremiah could be considered to be the most unpopular and the biggest failure of a prophet in the entire Bible.
Wow.
Nobody listened to him. And one bad thing after another kept happening, and people didn't like him. Bad things happened to Jeremiah. They got carried off to Babylon. Actually, Jeremiah was the prophet who was doing his work for God when Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego got carried off from Israel to Babylon. So, he saw a lot of bad stuff happen, and he was very emotional as well. And, he had very good, honest, heart-to-heart conversations with God. He wanted to do what God wanted him to do, but he felt inadequate because you know why?
Why?
Jeremiah was young. Okay. Yes. Now we tend to like to think of prophets as, these guys with the beard and prepare for doom. The end of the world is... No, he was young, and that was partly why he was like, God, I can't do this. God was like, it's okay. I'm going to give you the words. It's fine. Very emotional guy. He didn't think he was doing well. And of course, how could he feel like he was doing well when no one was listening to him? He tried all kinds of things. He would do crazy things to get people to pay attention to him, even more than this. I don't think he did that to anybody. But he would just make these grand gestures and crazy things just to get people to listen. And not only did they not listen, but then they did bad things to him. They threw him in jail. They took him as a hostage. He was definitely persecuted.
Well, here's the deal, though. Most of us know Jeremiah not for that, but because of a hopeful message.
And there's the twist. How amazing is it that Jeremiah, in the midst of feeling inadequate, not good enough, like a failure, he was desperate, he's the one who wrote these words. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. That's from Jeremiah 29:11. And he wrote those words trying to get the people to listen that, listen, if you repent, if you focus on God, He has these wonderful, wonderful plans for you. You can count on them. How amazing is that in the midst of His despair, He still wrote words of hope that we are reading thousands and thousands of years from now. And
From now?
I'm
predicting what will happen.
I know.
We're all prophet right here, Lisa.
I got a little carried away. I'm sorry about that.
But they will be talked about thousands of years from now.
They will.
Just like we're talking about them thousands of years, from when they were written.
They will.
So
our encouragement to you is that if you're feeling like a failure, if you're feeling inadequate, if you're feeling like you're having to do things that feel uncomfortable but you're being faithful, be persistent like Jeremiah, because you could be impacting generations to come. And people could be finding hope in you years and years from now.
Awesome message. Thanks, Lisa. So now we know a little bit more about Jeremiah.
Dessert. Yum.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. Maybe he was not an amphibian, but a great prophet during his time. He was a major prophet during his time. Let's sing joy to the world, to all the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me.
Hit it. Meet me at the intersection. It's time to make a great connection. Faith, fun, and family meet. So come on in and take a seat at Sundays at the intersection.